So guys, we got the NISMO engine mounts. Before we put the turbo on, I probably thought I should take the effort and actually change the engine mounts. Now I did the gearbox mount not long ago. I just had a standard mount in there, but it was pretty easy to bolt on. Just basically jack the gearbox up, bolt it on. But I figured I'd get cracking on the engine mounts before the turbo and the manifolds, and I bolted me back together. So just open the box up, pretty basic box. Just get a engine mount. As you can see, it looks pretty much like a standard one. I think the rubber is just slightly heavier duty. And yeah, it should go a lot more better than the 20-year-old existing mounts that are in the engine. So here's the trying to get in there on the standard mount. Old. I think it's just a couple of bolts. Jack the engine up, pop them in, pop them out. It should be a pretty quick and easy install. And I thought I'd take the opportunity to do it on a day like this, being a really wet day outside. Storms are just ridiculous last few weeks, but oh well. Lucky there's a car to work on. So the first step is basically cracking these two top nuts. There's a 14mm and a 12mm on each side. Pretty much the same thing. So if you can see, I've got the top two off, but getting to the bottom ones, they're a little bit off the angle. I don't know if you can see it much under here, but the angle to get the socket into where it's got to drive home, it's a 14mm under here, and it's just extremely difficult to get it. So I basically got a couple of extensions. It's slightly on an angle, but I just sort of got my mallet, whacked it on, whacked on the socket, whacked on the extension, and whacked on another little extension just to clear this little nut and be able to get enough swing to crack the bolt. That's the easiest way I've found to get it on. Once you had a fancy angled universal joint, but my universal joint didn't really help much, so this appeared to work this way on the other side, so hopefully it's all good on this side. It's a little bit hard to show you guys, but hopefully this cracks the nut. Oh, be a beauty. That off. Put your standard head on. Fun and games. About to jack the engine up. All the bolts are loose. Nothing else is connected, like the radiator hoses or anything like that. It's just pretty much the engine sitting there. So it's just a matter of jacking the engine up a little bit, enough to pop the mounts out, which should be pretty easy. Just a jack, bit of timber, and yeah, change the mounts. That's all there is to it, and bolt them back down. As you see, they come a bit loose, just a few more mil and that should pop out. Out she comes. There you have it. So we've got the old one. And I don't know how old they were, but they've probably been in there since the car was built. I'm guessing at least since 1994. And hopefully the new ones, you know, a little bit more smoother, a little bit more less engine vibration, while giving me yeah, a lot more plush feeling, a lot more, I don't know what you call it, nice firm positioning of the engine, the NISMO engine mounts. So the old one to the new ones. The new ones feel a little bit heavier than the standard ones. I'm just going to take that little heat plate for the turbo, put it onto the new one, and then yeah, bolt the new ones in. See how they go. Yeah, they're a lot beefier than the standard ones. As you can see, they probably make the engine sit a little bit higher as well, I think, so look a bit taller. Whether that's just probably where it's meant to sit, because these are probably just compressed over time. But anyway, yeah, I'll be excited to get the new mounts in and get it back on the ground, and then we can start putting the turbo on. So I'm just give it a little bit of a clean, sort of an area where you don't really get to clean that much. But the little tip I use, just put a sock in your hand, and just, you know, hard to reach places, I just put my hand in and get all the grease out with a bit of degreaser. But yeah, it's looking quite clean. The other side, nice and clean, ready for the new mounts. You beauty. So I have to actually take off the engine mount bracket here, because the new ones are a lot thicker. I couldn't get the engine up anymore to get the plate to get the new mount in. So I just managed to pop it in there, so it fits in there nice. And the other side wasn't too bad. I've got that mount sitting in there, ready to be bolted down. Beautiful. So now the tricky part is to try and lower it down slightly, just to get the engine mounts seat, so you can bolt them down, go down slow. Check every now and again they're lined up. Something's going in right where I want it. Same on this side. I was going to make sure these dowels line up with those little holes. There's little holes there, there's a little dowel. Has to seat into that little hole. So I just got to slow it down slowly, make sure it lines up. Hopefully all goes good. So as you can see, new engine mount down, all nice and firm. That dowel lined up with the hole it's meant to seat in. So check the other side. Great stuff. You know, all good there too. Just needs to be bolted down. So there, engine mounts sitting in the engine bay. NISMO engine mounts. Just got to bolt them down. these bolt the bottom ones on, and then she's ready for the turbo. So that was a pretty easy day. Shame about these 2 bolts, or nuts I should say. Get 2 new flange nuts. You know, they're probably okay to put on, but they're just seen better days, and I wouldn't want to cause drama for the next time I ever have to take them off. But yeah, it kind of sits a little bit higher, the engine now. Not too higher, but a little bit higher than it used to. Probably 5 mil or so, which isn't too bad. It's probably where it's meant to sit. So anyway, that was a pretty easy day today. Couldn't do much else, and then definitely ready for the turbo installation. Definitely ready now. Luckily I remembered to change these engine mounts while I had everything off, otherwise it would have been a bit of a mission to do it sometime in the near future. But I'm glad I did it, because you can see, I can almost move them with my hand. The rubberness in them, but I don't know if you can see it on the camera. But anyway, NISMO mounts, engine mounts are in there, ready to go. Anyway, I'll get the turbo ready, and we'll get that ready to be mounted. There it is. It's all dressed up, just needs to be bolted on, put together, and bolt the intake manifold on, a few loose ends, and then just ready for pipe work. And try and get it running. Hey guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.